Hey all, and welcome back for another HellfireComms Halloween TV Comm. This was something that Volk actually picked out for us. We both picked Castlevania because we really wanted to do it, but I was asking Volk about Halloween specials he enjoyed, and he thought of an old comedy TV show from the UK called Bottom that was created by Adrian Edmondson and Rick Mayall, the latter of which is no longer with us, sadly, may he rest in peace. It's a sitcom with lots of slapstick and black commentary, and it stars Edmondson and Mayall as Edward, Elizabeth, Eddie Hitler, and Richie Richard, two flatmates who live in Hammersmith, West London. The show is noted for its chaotic, nihilistic humour and violent comedy slapstick, and we will be watching Season 3, Episode 2, Terror, or Bottom Terror, if you will.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this ever since you agreed to do this with me. It is a yearly staple for me around this time of year, and I am absolutely thrilled to bits that I get to enjoy it with somebody else in tow.
Well, good luck finding it, but if you do, you can use your copy of the media to sync with our commentary. Instructions are in the video description should you need them. Here we go, I'm going to count you down into it. In 3, 2, 1. So, Volk, why Bottom exactly? Why this and no other, comedy series?
Well, because I considered this one to be the closest to having a Halloween special, so to speak, and it just seemed like such a perfect fit to actually get some UK comedy staples in there, because obviously when you think of UK comedy, you think of stuff like your Red Dwarfs, your, I guess, Only Fools and Horses, Dinner Ladies, Father Ted. And then, of course, you've got the Rick Mayall and Adrian Edmondson staples of the likes of The Young Ones, and this here program we're watching now.
Very nice.
And, of course, in Bottom fashion, it starts with something on fire. But, you know what? It's fine. They're used to it.
Ah, very good. So, how did you get into Bottom exactly? It doesn't seem like a show you personally would watch.
I think it mostly came when I was watching the old Sky shows like UK TV Gold and things like that. And I used to watch The Young Ones a little bit when it was first shown on the television. Obviously, I was quite young at that point, so a lot of it kind of flew over my head. I just liked it when they started beating each other up. But I eventually found out about Bottom through watching stuff like UK TV Gold, and I was like, hey, I recognize those two. And that got me back into The Young Ones again, and then I ended up watching more Bottom, and then things kind of escalated from there, and I kind of kept up with all the stuff that Rick and Aid have done over the years, whether it's Filthy Rich or The Dangerous Brothers, or the various Bottom live shows, which are absolutely amazing, by the way. If you've never seen them before, I would highly recommend them. Easily some of the best live stuff you'll probably see. Of course, where else would you be but inside Maria Whittaker's bra? Who's Maria Whittaker?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
This is like culture shock for me, because I grew up watching, fucking milquetoast shit like The Vicar of Dibley.
Oh, that's still top quality stuff, though.
It is,
I mean, this is obviously a bit more, below the belt, shall we say, but it's no less funny just because they deliver it so well.
Yeah, Rick Mayall obviously is a legend at slapstick and whatnot. Did you know that he actually did Nintendo commercials back in the day?
Yes, I did. He also, I can't remember what beer it was or some kind of tipple. It might have been Bundaberg or something like that. But he did a whole bunch of adverts for them as well. Bang on huzzah, as they say. But yeah, I mean, Rick has been around apart from the usual comedy stylings, for sure. He's been in some serious stuff as well, from what I remember.
I mostly remember him from Blackadder, specifically, Blackadder 2 as Lord Flashart.
Oh yes, I do remember that too. I think the Flashart character was what kind of gave him the inspiration for the adverts he did, actually, thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing you'll learn very quickly from Bottom is that they do love their double entendres, which is dual meaning to everyone else. Yes, I too would be horrified if someone offered to drink my juice. So yeah, as you may have noticed, not quite Halloweeny yet, but that's about to change very quickly.
Alright, ready to be spooked and whatnot, Volk? Good. Oh.
He's very affected by this. You can tell it's Hammersmith. You could say Bottom was a bit ahead of its time as well.
A little bit, yeah. Why did they all dress in the same costume?
They must have all picked it up from the same store. Maybe it was on offer.
God, that flat is fucking filthy. Look at that fridge.
Yes, this is something of a hangover remedy.
Oh, this is going to be a culture shock as well to Yank fans watching if they even bother to sync it up.
Yes, nowadays GIF is called SIF. For reasons we don't quite understand, there was probably a copyright dispute somewhere. Now the slapstick starts.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. You can't. Like, not even if you paid me would I ever do that.
Well, at least they'll both be out for the same amount of time. Oh my god.
I was actually tempted to cosplay this at one point during a convention just to see if anybody got it.
Costume comedy is something I remember a lot from British TV shows back in the day.
Oh, hell yeah. It's something we do rather well. But why? Oh.
Same difference.
I absolutely love how Aid just comes up with these quips for Richie's bullshit. It's one of the best parts of the show, honestly.
So I assume Eddie is not, thank you, Rick. I assume Eddie is not actually related to Hitler.
Not as far as I'm aware. I believe this was touched up on in an episode, but I can't remember the exact context for it.
No.
It's like he was doing like a dating video or something like that, and one of them blatantly said, "Any relation?" Just like, well, yeah, I have a dad. So, do you have much experience with the Aid and Rick comedy styling, so to speak? Did you watch anything like The Young Ones or Dangerous Brothers?
I knew of them. They were in, like, my periphery, but actually watching episodes, no.
Ah, that's fair enough. But, I mean, I would wager most people have at least heard from them around these parts, so to say.
What?
Yeah, apparently the idea is to try and get cash from trick and treating, and anyone who doesn't conform is going to get a prodding with the here electric cattle prod.
Oh shit. That would scare the shit out of me if Rick Mail appeared on my doorstep with her.
I just love his facial expressions.
I appear to have shat myself.
Oh, what a shame. More to the point, why did they come with different colours? I find it amusing how nobody's questioning this. The dude dressed as a devil and a literal banana in a hat carrying around a cattle prod.
Well, I mean, it is London. There's a lot of eccentric types there. Alright, let's go get some tricks and or treats.
Love that. Yeah, Richie fancies himself a bit of a genius, as you might garner from this whole dealio, but
oh no.
He's really a bit of an arse.
I'm Rick's character and you're Eddie's character.
Maybe just a little bit, maybe not to the extreme, but there may be twinges here and there. I love how he just thinks, wait, really? I would have questioned that immediately.
Have at you, children!
I mean, you'd think with the cattle prod they'd have an advantage as it is. I mean, obviously, Wait, where did that axe come from?
Sheep.
I love how they're advertising maximum carnage as well.
Was that Margaret Thatcher?
Yeah, this is based in Thatcher's Britain, I believe.
Ah, of course.
Well, sort of Thatcher, sort of Tony Blair. So apparently they got mugged for a few pennies and a bottle of Malibu. They're not very rich, to say the very least. There was a beginning sequence in one episode, I remember, where they're literally betting with chores around the house. And Richie was going to go like, alright, I bet you a week of washing up. And then he goes something like, alright, I'll bid you a month of washing up, 3p of real money, and a complete disinfecting around the back of a lavatory bowl.
Jeez.
So, this is a character that has recurred in previous episodes. This is Spudgun, one of Eddie's friends, as well as someone who will be introduced to later on called Dave Hedgehog. No relation to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes, thank you.
And Spudgun is played by Stephen O'Donnell. He is an actor known for Shakespeare in Love, Spice World, and A Knight's Tale, apparently. He's a little bit outside of the young ones circle, where you would expect someone like Nigel Planer or Nigel Planer, I guess, and Christopher Ryan, who actually plays Dave Hedgehog. So we'll be seeing him pretty soon. So essentially, we have 3 out of 4 of the young ones starring in this program.
Oh, that's great.
You're gonna wish you hadn't said that, dude. Obviously, there was some miscommunication.
I usually have bowel troubles on Halloween after too much candy, but this is ridiculous.
Well, then again, it's not every day you carry around a cattle prod in order to threaten people into giving you cash instead of sweets. I love how they're having a deep philosophical discussion about what's going on. I like how Spudgun checks himself first. So, the thing is with Bottom is that I've usually preferred this kind of to the young ones. I think the young ones is a lot more heavier on the slapstick than Bottom is. With Bottom, they're a little bit more clever about it, although the young ones itself does have some memorable episodes, like Sick, and then there's the one where they appear on University Challenge, which is
yes.
Absolutely incredible. That is one of my favorite comedy episodes, period. You can tell he's trying so hard not to laugh.
Well, that's that sorted.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You know what happens. So yeah, the joke is whenever Rick is handling it, it always backfires on him, whereas everybody else seems to handle it okay.
Well, might as well just go home now. No more tights left.
I could just watch this and laugh all day. It's just one of those things that's just easy to sit down with and just have a good laugh with it. And that's why I always appreciate it about the Rick and Age stuff. You don't necessarily have to think too much into it. You could just kind of sit back and enjoy it for what it is. A bunch of bollocks that makes you laugh.
Yeah, you want a bit of absurdity every so often. That's a major tenet of my comedic style, if I have one, that is.
I mean, the University Challenge episode is a good example of that, where literally Vivian comes down with a grenade and goes, Achtung! And chucks it down at a podium where they're meant to be side by side.
Jeez.
And the only reason why they're above and below each other is because that's the way the television does it.
Jesus.
And this is kind of the segue into the second part, where usually it ends up going a little bit different. It's sort of like leaving them to it for an hour or two and then coming back.
What the fuck is that?
That is the home brew. Obviously not done the way it's supposed to, but, you know, they work with what they have, let's just say that.
Do they have jobs at all?
Not as such. I believe the whole story is that Richie's aunt is very wealthy, so typically they get handouts and usually they take care of them with, like, the minimum expenses and what have you.
Okay. Aw, happy carrot.
It's not quite the same as a pumpkin, but you know what? I appreciate the attempt. Eddie seems very beside himself, though.
Yeah, let's stand at least a few meters away from the alcohol.
I would not trust it. I would not trust anything that can literally take enamel off the bath anywhere near an explosive thing, carrot or otherwise.
Jesus Christ. I don't think pumpkins are meant to explode like that unless they're being handled by the Green Goblin.
Well, that's why they're scary. I'm pretty sure that wasn't Welsh.
I would crack up if he did that in my face.
I'd wager they probably had to do a few takes of that one. They have some rather legendary blooper reels. No, you lost me now. Sorry. I mean, the chili was alright, but when you throw in the curry powder and the Tabasco... They had to throw in the Asda reference.
Yep. Every little helps.
I'm pretty sure they don't do that anymore, which is kind of a shame. I always thought that was like a advertisement staple. Nope, not on your life. I would never have one of those.
Nah, I'm good, thanks.
That's about the reaction I would expect.
He's dying. He's done.
No, they don't die that easily. Well, except for the final episode. They kinda did die there.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they got shot up by the SWAT team.
Wow.
Because they had compromising evidence of... I think it was the Prime Minister having an affair or something like that. Because they were out looting and somebody... And Richie... I think it was Richie already? It was Richie. Stole a BBC camera.
Yeah, as Richie and Eddie debate the meaning of the last two words they heard over the phone, go A Squad, several masked SAS operatives burst into the flat. They open fire as the panicked flatmates utter their last words, oh shit.
Oh shit.
What's it with series with, like, Rick Mayall helming them that ends with his character dying?
Well, I mean, they had it with the young ones as well, where they went, look, cliff! And of course they went straight off a cliff with Cliff Richard on a billboard. And their last word was, well, that was a close one. Boom. Well, I mean, it's probably more than what you have, to be fair, Rick.
He's a very slappy person.
There was a little bit of bad blood with them because Richie had him round for his birthday party in, I think, the first season. And they pretty much trapped him in a game of sardines because he was wheelchair bound and he was halfway up the stairs, so they couldn't actually get back down. So they just pratted about the TV for about 5 hours. Well, I suppose pans would be the only vessel sturdy enough to take such a brew.
Ugh.
Mind you, it's not the most potent tipple he has ever made. In one of the live shows, he made what he quotes as weapons-grade lager, which is so potent, a sip can get you completely pissed and put you into a drink-induced coma for 24 hours. You don't get a hangover because there's no morning after.
Jesus.
And he called it GMTV? Because it completely fucks your mind. Well, he got 8 pence, so he's already about a good quarter of the way there.
Oh, yes.
Oh god, what's he planning?
Where the fuck did that come from?
It's bottom, mate. You have to just kind of take it as it is.
No, I've already shat myself enough times for one night, thank you. That is pretty devilish.
Yeah, especially if there's somebody waiting to use it after you.
Enjoy, fucker. Welcome to the fart chamber.
That's one way to not wait to get your change back, I suppose. I worried there for a second. Wait, virgins?
No.
I'm pretty sure Ethel Cardew is like an actual person. I'm not sure what from though. Hold on, I'm going to quickly look this up. There we go. Ethel Cardew. Ethel Cardew is an unseen character. She is frequently mentioned through the free series and live shows of Bottom. The very fact of talking about Ethel is a sore subject for Richie. As of the 3rd series, Ethel and Eddie are no longer on speaking terms.
Oh.
Based on what Eddie describes as the superglue incident. Oh, great gag. And this is me trying to summon the next Animal Crossing game successfully.
Oh, it worked, mate. It worked. It had to start all the way back in, like, the era of Bottom, but it finally happened.
Exactly. It was a long wait. You just had to give it time to work, you see. I'm pretty sure this is how we'd probably act in real life sometimes.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Just being complete prats. Well, why not?
Only dressing gowns. You gotta be completely comfy when raising the dead.
Exactly, if you're raising the devil, the last thing you want is cold feet. He wishes. Oh god, it's the sprouts again.
Oh!
I love how they're just begrudgingly going along with it.
He's so manic. If he said no, he'd probably blow himself up with you in it.
He would eat like 3 sprouts and say, "This is the end!" At least they're considerate. Yeah, he might have other things going on. Oh, blimey.
Oh, yeah, sprouts. I prefer cauliflower, but okay.
I like how he's just going, "Oh, dearie me." A kick in the gonads gets you very far in the Bottom universe.
I wonder what they actually were that they were eating.
Honestly, I would be intrigued to find out myself. I'm pretty sure that it's pretty much just like some kind of curry or something, really.
Yeah, sprouts will make you fart.
Well, they raised hell, alright. Just not in the way that they had intended. I'm amazed it hasn't burned a hole through them. This is some very well-engineered fire.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Oh, there's apparently a consistency error in this episode. Do you want me to read it?
Alright, go on then.
It doesn't really matter because it's like fucking bottom, but I'll read it anyway. Richie, Eddie, Hedgehog, and Spudgun are expecting a visit from the devil. They all become nervous when they find out the devil drinks virgin's blood. However, in previous episodes, Eddie has mentioned that he has had sex with several girls, Ethel Kaju and Lady Natasha, and 2 casual girlfriends, one of whom works in sketches on a Saturday afternoon, the other who lives in Chiswick in S Out. And Hedgehog even has a daughter, who appears in this very episode when she is mistaken for the devil.
Ah, yes. That is a glaring inconsistency, I will give you that. I actually do remember the whole Dave Hedgehog bit coming up, but Eddie, I kind of thought he was just playing it up just to make sure he wasn't being left out.
Yeah, also, when Richie is about to go and get his Ladybird Book of Witchcraft to construct a pentacle, the swing switches to Eddie, Spudgun, and Hedgehog. Eddie can clearly be seen holding his laugh thread from a blooper from the previous scene.
Yeah, that does tend to happen. With the bloopers, they just keep going until they get it right. So sometimes you do get those just odd moments of laughter that just creep in. I'm pretty sure that part where he opens the door and goes trickle ruddy treat is one of those moments.
Yeah.
Like, he was so close to just completely losing it that they probably had to cut it pretty quickly just to make sure that he didn't completely bung up the take. Look, you don't have sherry. I mean, you're lucky to have a homebrew.
Jesus. DFS will not take kindly this.
No, I'm pretty sure that doesn't go into their returns policy. I'm pretty sure damage through burning is going to void off whatever return policy you had. I'm pretty sure using a pillow that's probably also flammable is not the best way to go.
Well, if you're looking for logic in bottom, just go and watch something like, I don't know, Vicar of Dibley again. Why do I keep fucking going back to Vicar of Goddamn Dibley?
It's a good quality show. I mean, it's not surprising you'd go back to it in all honesty. I mean, Dawn French is considered a national treasure, I would have thought.
Okay, you can stop shilling, Volk, we get it.
It's just like, sorry, you're talking to me. I'm still taking in all of this. I don't think a soul ain't worth that much, Richie.
Yeah, it's pretty, like, black and tan at this point.
I'd be amazed if the house would even cover a fraction of the cost.
Eddie, you okay? Oh my god!
No, Dave! Wait, he did that right next to the homebrew. How are they all still alive? That's probably about how I'd react to.
Jesus Christ, Volk.
That's about how you'd expect it to end, really, with exploding carrots.
Basically, yeah. Alright, let's watch the credits. So, what have you made us watch for Halloween, Volk, honestly?
Depending on the outlook, a fever dream? Something of a crazy outlook into the mind of what UK comedy can oftentimes be like. But honestly, this is a really good show. It's just a solid laugh all around, and I definitely recommend checking out if you're into the slapstick and general tomfoolery with a little bit of a black comedy here and there.
Indeed. Alright, I'm going to close that video down. I enjoyed that. It had some great slapstick. Lovely bit of dark comedy. I did feel a bit out of my depth, though, I'm not going to lie.
Oh no, that's fair enough. I mean, it is something that you can't entirely be prepared for, especially in your case where you probably haven't necessarily watched as much of it. I mean, obviously with me, I've watched a lot of comedy like this, so I'm fairly used to it, I guess. But for somebody on the outside, it can be a bit of a experience, let's just say that. But I'm glad I got you into it, because it's always good to have somebody who can just take it in from the outside and just have a good laugh with it.
For sure, mate. So yeah, that was Season 3, Episode 2 of Bottom. Terror, and we're not quite done yet with Halloween stuff. I'm not entirely sure which order these are going to go up in, but if this is the finale, well, we hope you've enjoyed our Halloween stuff. So yeah, don't stay up too late, don't have too much candy, or do. Just enjoy the nightmares when they come. Bye for now.
See you later, and keep away from those exploding carrots.
Mini pumpkins with smiley faces.
Woo!